Hello, welcome to my kitchen. Don't worry, this isn't a cooking video, so I won't be cooking stuff here, but I am very interested in the question of veganism and what we eat. So, not because what we eat is the only thing that nurtures us. There are 4 types of nutriments, and the first one is edible food. There are other 3 things that we nurture ourselves with, and they are sense impressions, so what we look at, what we listen to, what we expose ourselves to; consciousness, in other words, the things that we think are also types of nutriment; and volition. Volition is what our intentions are, the decisions we make as far as nutrition and nutriments are concerned. So those are the 4 types of nutriments. So basically what I'm going to show you today is a recipe that I made from a vegan chef. Her name is Chef Jana, and I'll put a link to her channel below. I've tried 2 or 3 things that she's made. They are always delicious, so I definitely recommend Chef Jana. And today what I'm making is her very simple chocolate pudding. Now, this is the kind of thing that attracts me, whereas I'm not against making the odd curry or 1,000 spices dish. In reality, I'm much more of a simple food eater. In other words, I like to eat the thing itself. So for example, if I'm going to eat a sweet potato, then I like to eat the sweet potato. And the way I prepare sweet potato most of the time is that I pop it in the pressure cooker, because remember, here in Mexico City, we're more than 7,000 feet above sea level. So if I put a potato or 2 in the oven, it's going to take over 2 hours to cook, and that just isn't ideal. So what I do with potatoes and sweet potatoes is that I pop them in the pressure cooker for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then they are fully cooked. If I just want to parboil them, for example, I'll put them in the pressure cooker for 2 or 3 minutes, and then after that I'll wrap the potato to make a jacket potato, for example, or I'll just put the sweet potato in the oven. But generally it's with the pressure cooker. And so I'll share, before I show you Jana's chocolate pudding, I'll share what I mean by simple cooking. So today I'm having some very simple white rice. I season rice very lightly. Please let me know if you'd like for me to share with you how I prepare these very simple dishes, and I'm very happy to do that. So today I'll be having white rice, some very simply seasoned black beans. I made some raw green salsa with a little bit of avocado, and I'm having a in Spanish we call this plátano macho here in Mexico. This is a plantain, which is not a normal banana. Basically it's a cooking banana, so we can't eat this raw, but if we slice it, I usually slice it diagonally and I fry it in oil. I'm not scared of frying things in oil. I don't fry things in oil every day, but a little bit of frying in oil is fine. Well, for me. So if I'm just going to fry some plantains, then I don't want anything with any oil with a lot of taste, like olive oil, because then my bananas will taste like olive oil. And I don't want that. I want my bananas to taste like bananas. So I use a very neutral, light oil. This is a grapeseed oil, but I'm very happy to use canola oil or anything light that I have in the kitchen. So this will be my lunch, together with a green salad, or what remains of the green salad. I know it's wrapped in plastic. It isn't always the case that I eat salad from a plastic bag. I'm just kind of that, you know, I'm a pragmatic, simple person. And so if today I'll finish this bag, but tomorrow I'll make a list. The 4 neighbors here, we're going to pool our shopping list for the greengrocers together on a Google document, and then we're going to call them and ask them for all our shopping, all our fresh veg from the shop, and they'll come and deliver. So right now we're running low. That's why I'm having my bagged salad with a little bit of onion and perhaps a little bit of avocado if I have some. And something else I can share with you if you want. Please let me know below. Write a comment if this is something that's interesting for you, if you want to learn more about vegan eating without either trying to make it look like meat or trying to make cheese, for example. I'm very happy, even though I love cheese, don't get me wrong, I love cheese and I grew up on cheese. I'm very happy not to have cheese because of the story that I'm going to tell you in a moment. So if you're interested in just staple, simple home cooking, please drop me a comment and I'll be very happy to oblige. Okay, so I've now made the chocolate pudding. I can't wait to taste this. It's still quite warm, so I'm going to put it in the fridge when it's a little bit cooler. Just a little tip is remember to dissolve cornstarch in cold liquid before you start heating up. Okay, so I'm just going to prepare the vanilla sauce, but before I do, I wanted to share with you these 2 reasons I have for being vegan. The first one is that I mentioned in a previous video about a mindfulness retreat that I've just been on, here or here. I have to figure out which side it is, right or left. So I'll be putting a card up here to the video. I mentioned in that video that I was 17 years old when my mom became ill, and from that moment until she passed away some 18 years later, she needed to take blood tests continuously. I would say at least every 3 months for 17, 18 years, sometimes even more often than that. So my experience as I was growing up was that blood tests always revealed what was wrong, because there was always something wrong, because my mother was heavily medicated throughout the period after her surgery. These blood tests continuously showed all the aspects that needed to be taken care of in the short term. So I've been vegan now for about 6 years, and recently, even though I feel fine, better than ever, recently I thought, well, you know what? I think I'm just going to take a blood test, just for the sake of taking it, just for the sake of good order. So I went to a lab and I took the test, and lo and behold, the results showed that I am bang in the middle of each range. So there are many criteria, in a blood test, in just a normal standard blood test, and my results were all in normal text, whereas what I was looking for was something in bold, because you know they always print the areas that you're off in bold. Well, my blood test showed everything was perfectly normal. So for those of you non-believers out there, those of you who think you can't get everything you need from a vegan diet, please know that I am living proof that you absolutely can have a healthy diet and for it to be vegan. Now, when I say vegan, something else that I just want to clarify in case something ever happens in the future. Perhaps I should say mainly vegan, because there are occasions where I might have something that is not vegan. Because my veganism is a choice. It's something that I decide to do, so it's not medically prescribed. It's not that I'm dogmatic about it. So nothing's going to happen to me if I don't have vegan food every day for the rest of my life. So occasionally, for example, I might bake a cake with some free-range eggs. Or occasionally I might eat a piece of bread that has been made with butter. So occasionally I will do those things because, like I say, it isn't dogma. I'm not, But generally speaking, I don't buy animal products, and I like to eat in as healthy a way as possible. And by healthy, I mean without animal products. So that's the first thing, is that health-wise, it just absolutely makes sense to have a regular vegan diet. Off to make the vanilla sauce. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to call this done. There it is. Some vanilla sauce to go with our chocolate pudding. And now I'm just going to wait for some time for both the pudding and the sauce, the vanilla sauce, to cool. I'll put it in the fridge for a little while, and when I come back, we can taste it together, and I'll tell you the story of how veganism manifested in my life. It's the only way I can explain how it is that I'm vegan today. So see you in a bit. Okay, so now that I've had this huge lunch and gobbled it all up, I've prepared here the dessert. So I've got a little bit of matcha tea and my chocolate pudding and my vanilla sauce. Shall we give it a go? Okay, I'm going to sit for this. So here we go. The vanilla sauce. Okay. Provecho. Bon appetit. Let's tuck in. And so that looks quite good, quite solid. Let's give it a taste. Delicious. Delicious. It's really good. Here, let me give it another. Chef Jana. Awesome. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. So the story about how I became vegan is that 6 years ago I was in a real state, mentally and emotionally, a complete shipwreck. So I knew that I needed to do something drastic, and what I decided to do was to go and spend a week together with 1,000 other people in a monastery in the south of France to live the lifestyle of the monastics of Plum Village. So immediately before traveling, I received a kind email from them letting me know that the diet would be vegan, and that unless I had any pressing medically prescribed reason, then there would be no exceptions. Now, I didn't even know what this meant, to be honest. I didn't know what vegan meant, but in my imagination it meant, hello, you are going to eat rice and vegetables for breakfast, lunch and dinner during the 7 days that you're here. And that scared me a bit, I'll be honest. I wasn't looking forward to it, and other than that, I didn't know what to think. But the fact is that once I got there, in fact, as soon as I set foot in the monastery, the first thing they did was to let me know via the sound of a bell that dinner was served. And not only this dinner the first night, but every single meal, breakfast, lunch and dinner, was shared with the community in such a way that they were long tables filled with dish after dish after dish of incredibly tasty, delicious, varied, abundant, filling, rich vegan food. So that was a complete surprise to me, and everything was so simple. I could see all the ingredients, I could see everything that I was eating, and everything tasted delicious. And so that gave me my first insight, which was, well, gosh, well, I mean, of course I can do this. I can do this. I can prepare this back at home. Another insight I had during that week was that the animal industry is such an unnecessarily cruel industry. And I understood at a very deep level. So this is why I said earlier that I can't explain it. It isn't something that happened through the intellect. It was an insight that I had, that I don't want to contribute to that industry that generates so much suffering to living beings that share this planet Earth with me. Who am I to inflict so much suffering and pain on a living being? Not that I do it personally, but by buying these products and consuming them, then I'm contributing to that industry. Another reason is that by eating in this way, knowing that this deliciousness contains no suffering, it's a source of such deep, indescribable joy. And I can savor this joy every day, at every meal. Delicious. A bit of tea. Well, thank you very much for being here today. As I say, I'm very happy to share with you more about veganism, about the type of food I eat, how I prepare it, the reasons behind it, and just hang out here on YouTube. I'd love to hear your feedback, so please drop me a note in the comments below. I was thinking that next time I'll make 3 different salad dressings for you to savor and enjoy. Everything I make, like I say, very simple, very easy and quick, few ingredients, but delicious and nutritious for the body and for the soul. So thank you for being here. Take very good care. Bye for now.